Good evening, Kenton community. My name is Sabatino Sumato. I'm your superintendent, and this is your weekly connection update. Specifically in the connection, let's talk about the topics from this week. First, we have our 36th annual Jerry Star Kenton Sleepout. Then we have our next section, Safety Tips for Families. We go over a new safety tip every week. Then we have our school and district highlights. And of course, then we finish with our recognition. So let's get going. First, the 36th annual Jerry Star Kenton Sleepout brought to us by Educators Totally Committed, ETC. This is a great event. We do it every year. This year, it will be at the Hoover Complex on Friday, February 3rd, beginning at 6 p.m. And remember, all proceeds, every single dollar that is raised from this event that ETC has brought to us for so long goes directly to the Family Support Center and the Kenton Closet. And just remember, when we say 36th annual, this has been going on since 1988, and it's named after one of its founders, Mr. Jerry Star, who always believed in a life of service and doing for others. You could see right there in the connection how to donate. It's very important. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been raised over the years, and let's keep it going. It's all about service, and that's what the 36th annual Jerry Star Kenton Sleepout focuses on. Really thinking about others in our community, not just ourselves. Next is our safety tip for families. And folks, this section is a little bit different this week. I'm really encouraging all of our families to have the kind of discussion with students and children about being together in groups. And what I mean by that is, folks, I've worked with especially middle schoolers and high schoolers for a very, very long time. And I can tell you, all of our individual children are a certain way when they're by themselves. And when they get into a large group of kids, oftentimes that's what kids do. They're a little bit of a different way. And making those smart decisions when we're with large groups of people is often a lot more challenging than when we are solo by ourselves as adolescents, as youngsters. So really talk to them. Look at this section, just a little bit of tip, a little bit of advice about talking to them about not falling into that mentality that when we're in larger groups, that we're doing anything less than representing ourselves, our families, our community, our school district. It's very important. Having those conversations goes a long way. Now the next section is district highlights. Franklin Middle to present musical Cinderella, January 26th through 28th. Big Picture students send donations and letters to Honduras. Kenmore West Hall of Fame Selection Committee seeks nominations. Ken East 8th grade students develop their digital citizenship skills. Ken East and Ken West hockey players take part in Sabre Shootout. Ken East celebrates Grammy finalist Phil Agulia at Winter Pep Rally. Dewville players visit Limburg Elementary to read to students. Hoover Middle School Spanish students celebrate Spanish heritage. And finally, Kenmore East students visit Northland Workforce Training Center. Read those stories. It just gives you a taste of everything from this past week of what's going on in our great Kenton School District. Finally, we get to our recognitions, and this week we have two recognitions. First, our SROs. SROs, school resource officers, and ladies and gentlemen, we have two of the best here in Kenton. Officer Kelting and Officer Cristiano do wonderful work, and their priority of their work, of course they work for the Town of Tonawanda Police Department, but their priority here in Kenton is connecting with kids. And these two gentlemen really do a wonderful job leading the way with showing how that connection is so important in keeping our schools safe. So read that section about how this is recognition week for school resource officers. Our second recognition is none other than Kenton native. You've heard a lot about him in the news lately, Jay Withy. And Jay Withy, we have our story in here back when we had the blizzard. Jay was this gentleman that you heard about on the news that when people were stuck, he actually broke into a school. He had to. Broke into a Cheektowaga school just to get warmth, but he didn't just break in. He then fixed what he had to fix after they broke in to get into the warmth, left a note apologizing for any mess, but here's the most important thing, his service to others, saving lives. Really look at that story. Thanks, Jay. You're everything that we hope that all of our Kenton kiddos aspire to be. Really great job. And that's where we end today. Obviously, you could see I'm in my Buffalo Bills gear. And it's, the Buffalo Bills are just one of the things around here that bring us together as one community. We have a playoff weekend, and it just reminds us really spending time with family and friends, cheering on our favorite team, and really doing everything we can to have that service to others, because that's what makes us Kenton proud. Together we are Kenton strong, and only together will we continue to move Kenton forward. Thank you very much for listening. Go Bills!